Hey y'all, welcome back to my little corner on the internet. If you're new here, the name's Maya, and if you're not new here, hey y'all, thanks for coming back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. So today I kind of wanted just to do a little like get ready with me story time. I thought that would be fun. So without further ado, go ahead, grab y'all drinks. Y'all already know what I'm sipping on, Olipop. And let's go ahead and get started with the video. Alright, so for today, I want to do a little story time, get ready with y'all. So story time is going to be on how I broke my leg. If y'all don't know, a little backstory, y'all, I've been crippled since let me stop saying that. I have been, what's the word? You know what I'm trying to say. I've been crippled since April, and it's been a struggle. So I'm going to take y'all back to how it happened, what happened, and how I got into the situation that I'm in right now. So yeah, and then we're gonna also go ahead and do my makeup routine. So it's gonna be two things going at once. So we're gonna start with the micellar water, of course, but anyway, so the story starts with, y'all, it was a random April. It was like, I believe it was April 7th. I had gone to class, and I was like, bet I'm gonna go to my friend's house after class, and we're just gonna have a good time, you know. I'm more than positive it was the weekend starting, so we just figured that we was gonna go ahead and, you know, get stuff started for the weekend. And so I had went over her house, and we had ended up going to the dog park. If y'all don't know, obviously y'all don't know, my friend has a dog. She has a pit bull, and we were gonna take her to the park. And so I get to her house, y'all, and we load our stuff up in the car, and we headed on our way to the park. So the park where we stay at is it's like 10 minutes down the street. So yeah, so we leave the park, we leave for the park, and we get to the park. None of the dogs is there. Y'all, mind you, this dog does not like to play with other dogs. She like to play with like kids. She don't like to play with dogs. So that's funny, because we at the dog park, and the dog is not playing with any dogs. So we all just chilling, talking and everything, mingling as we usually do, you know. I'm gonna go in with the ordinary niacinamide. So my bright self decides that, hey, since nobody else is doing anything, why don't I entertain myself? So the entertainment that I decided to have for myself was, hey, I'm gonna hop in a tree. So y'all, that's what I did. So I hopped in the tree. Now mind you, I live in Alabama, so during the summertime, it rains a lot. So the grass was already wet, but you know, me being me, I didn't think anything of it. Oh, and then this is the Bioma brightening serum I'm gonna use. So mind you, it was wet outside the night before, and I just didn't pay any mind to it. Oh, you know, it's wet, but still, it's not the first time I didn't climb a tree. So I get my big grown self, and I'm like, hey y'all, I'm about to go climb the tree, grab my stuff or whatever. So the dog chilling, she chilling or whatever. Everybody just minding their own business, you know. And of course, my dumb self was like, okay, bad, I'm about to get in the tree. So I get into the tree, guys, And y'all know when the trees, like, when a tree go up and then it's split in the middle like this, you know, and then you got like all the branches and stuff like that. So I'm sitting in the middle of where the, you know, where the tree branch out. I'm sitting in the middle of it. So as I'm sitting in the middle of the tree, I don't know what happened. I don't know if my brain was like, oh, you can go higher, or like, let's get down. But all I knew was when I went to like go turn around and like position myself to stand up, I slipped. So when I slipped, mind you, now that backstory when I said it was wet outside, yeah, that comes into play right now. So trees like this, I'm in the middle of, well, I'm like on this side, really. So I'm like on this side, and trees like that. So when I try to like, you know, stand up, I grip, but it's wet, y'all. So my grip didn't last. So as soon as I went to go grip the tree, yeah, it was over from there. I fell, hit the other side, like hit the inside of the tree, and then fell like, so it's like this, and this is like the middle of the tree. Like I scraped down that, and when I fell with my legs to the side of me. So when I fell, guys, as soon as I fell, I knew. I knew. What's next? Moisturizer. That's what we're gonna go into. But as soon as I fell, guys, I knew that it was over. I knew that something was broke. Like, when I tell you I just knew, and I could feel it. So as soon as my friends come over, I'm like hysterically laughing at this point. Y'all, I wanted to try one of these. I got these little samples from Ulta, so I think I'm gonna try the Tatcha water cream, just for like hydration. But anyway, so yeah, so sorry, I'm reading this one now. But anyway, back to my story. So as soon as I fell, guys, I knew it was over. Like, the way my legs fell, they were like, Maya, come on, get up. And I was just hysterically laughing, and I knew that that was my adrenaline. And I looked at my friend, Kiara. I looked at my friend. It was like, it's broke. Like, it's broke, guys. There's nothing. She's like, no. Everybody was trying to tell me, like, it's not broke. You're lying. Like, not lying, but they was like, come on, Maya. Like, you're being dramatic. You know, it's not broke or whatever. So after everybody kept telling me my leg wasn't broke, I'm like, okay, then let me try to stand, you know, like, not literally let me try to stand, but like, let me see if I can maybe get up and move to a bench or something. So I went to like go brace myself, because mind you, like, I'm in the grass. I just fell out of a tree, guys. So I'm in the grass and my legs are like to the side of me, and I'm like, okay, so let me just see if, like, you know, like I can stand up. Like, let me just see. And so I just remember as soon as I went to like go push myself off the ground, y'all, my leg was like, and I'm not even talking about my ankle. So like, say this is the ankle of my leg, right? My ankle was like this, but then right here, like where your tib and fib was, that junk was hanging too. And so I could feel it. I was like, oh my God. Like, but mind you, this whole time, I'm not crying. Like, I'm hysterically laughing. So I really honestly think that was my adrenaline, because I literally could not do anything besides laugh. And like, I know it wasn't funny, but like, I literally could not do anything besides laugh. So I'm on the phone. Well, my friend is like, Maya, well, what do you want us to do? And I'm like, call 911, hand me the phone. And I was talking to somebody at the time, so I was like, and call that person. Like, you know, somebody got to get here. So I just remember I called 911. Y'all didn't answer the first time I called them. Like, it rang, and nobody picked up the first time. So then I hung up and I called again, because I'm like, what the heck? So Mind you, at this point, they didn't call the person I was talking to at the time. So they got there before the ambulance came. So finally, I'm on the phone with like the paramedics, or I meant 911. And so they're asking me questions of like, oh, what happened? And are you sure it's broke? And like, my reaction is just like, I'm laughing at this point, and so I think that's why they're probably like, are you sure it's broke? Because like I'm sitting on the phone laughing with these people, telling them I just fell out of a tree and like broke my leg, but they're like, are you sure? Because it don't sound like it. So I'm gonna go in with this Yellow Bellow sunscreen. I don't use a lot of sunscreen. I know you're supposed to, but I don't. You see that the cast that I leave? But anyway, so yeah, so finally, dude gets there who I'm talking to, and we're still waiting on the ambulance. So ambulance finally gets there. Mind you, also, I believe it's a weekend, but it's also like 8 o'clock at night. Like I fell out of a tree at like 8 o'clock. So it was not my best moment, guys. Not my brightest decision. So finally the ambulance gets there, and backtrack because I said that I was at the dog park. So yes, I'm in the grass, but there's gravel too. So what ends up happening is they finally get there and they bring like the stretcher out or whatever, because I can't stand. I told y'all my leg was dangling, so I can't stand or anything. And I'm just trying to get it together. And so they finally end up picking me up. They pick me up, they put me on the stretcher, and since we're in gravel, we're just hitting bumps. So my leg just flopping, y'all. Like my leg is like doing one of these. And there's nothing I can do about it, because like, you know, they're just doing their jobs. They're trying to help me, and like they didn't tell me to fall out of the tree or nothing. So like, who can I be mad at? Them? I can't. So yeah. So then I get into the ambulance, and they talking to me, asking me what happened, all of that stuff or whatever. Finally, they gave me some medicine. I don't know. I can't tell you exactly what they gave me. I want to say ketamine, but I'm not for sure. So don't quote me on that. Now I'm just taking my eyebrow pencil in the shade neutral brown. I used to use the dark one, but I don't anymore. I use this one and it makes it perfect. So yeah. So we get to the hospital, and at this point, mind you, like the ambulance guy kind of said, yeah, like it looks broke, but like, you know, they didn't know definitively in the ambulance. So finally, when I get there, mind you, y'all, at this point too, so I got this outfit on that I just bought not that long ago. It was like brown, long sleeve, real cute, whatever. And so I get to the hospital, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to cut you out of this. Cut me out of what? Huh, sir? I'm not in that much pain. You're not about to cut me out of nothing. So what did I do? I was like, yeah, no. And I took it off myself. And sometimes, usually, they don't allow, like, not that they don't allow you to do that, but I remember last time, like, I broke my arm, they cut me out of my clothes. So, like, I had to say goodbye to those clothes. But these clothes, I was like, no, like, I need that. That's my outfit. Like, no, they was not cutting me out of that. So I got myself, broken foot and all, out of my pants because I didn't want my pants to be cut open. And yeah, so they did the little x-ray and everything, and we're looking at my leg, and they saw that, hold on guys, I'm sorry, I can't do my eyebrows and multitask, so y'all gonna have to hold on. That, cause really, honestly, if we really want to talk about it, the eyebrows are a form. Like, people talk about other people's eyebrows, but I think it's honestly fascinating because, like, everybody does their own eyebrows differently. Everybody has they go-to brow. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but anyway, so finally I get the x-ray and everything on my leg and stuff like that, and I'll post a picture right here of what they did, like what they put. But basically, you can tell in the picture I ended up breaking my tib and my fib, and then I cracked my ankle. So they ended up putting a rod in the middle of my leg, a screw at the top, and then I have like 4 screws at the bottom holding everything together. So I had surgery literally the next day after I broke my leg. It was a little hectic because if y'all don't know, I mean, I'm not from Alabama, so that part was a little hectic because, like, I really had to, like, call everybody last minute and be like, hey, I broke my leg. Somebody needs to come down to Alabama and get me. Like, imagine your daughter or, like, you know, I don't know. Or, like, one of your siblings or something, like, calling you and being like, hey, I broke my leg. You gotta come get me. Like, at, like, 9 o'clock at night on, like, a random day. Like, it's just, like, what were you doing? What were you thinking? And so, I had surgery literally the next morning. They rushed me. Well, I spent the night in the hospital overnight. And I had surgery in the morning. And then, I don't know if this has ever happened to y'all, but y'all, I was in so much pain after surgery. And then they was trying to send me home right after surgery. I don't know if that's, like, the thing. But, yeah. And so, it was a little weird. But I ended up staying another night just because my mom wasn't there either. And, like, there was just a lot going on for me. So, yeah. And then after surgery, it gets better. So, after surgery, my mom finally arrives. We get there and we decide that, hey, I'm going to go back to Michigan because I got a long road ahead of me for recovery and all that lovely stuff. So the best idea and the best decision is to go back to Michigan, right? So we're like, okay, bet. We're going to fly. Yeah, I don't know if it was like, it had to be God. I literally say it had to be God. Because that whole day that we were supposed to, you know, get on a flight and go back home, God did not want us to get on that flight. I don't know why, but, like, we just weren't supposed to fly. So we didn't end up flying. We ended up driving from Alabama to Michigan, which is, give or take, 12 hours, depending on, you know, who's driving. So, yeah, guys, I don't really like this eyebrow. It's, like, really bad. So we're gonna take it off. I just hate that. So, yeah, so whole entire day we're at the airport. Like, mind you, I just, like, got out of surgery the day before. So, I'm, like, groggy. I have an attitude. People are rude. Let's also talk about that. Let's also talk about the simple fact that nobody gives a fuck that you're crippled. So, yeah. So, that happened. And then we was literally at the airport all day. And then something was just like, this is not a smart idea. Like, we're not supposed to be on a plane or whatever. Because I think I was getting scared about what they call, I don't know, it's compartment syndrome. After surgery, they say once you've had a major surgery, there's risk when flying because of the air pressure. And so, like, a part of me was freaking out because of that, but I just didn't want to say anything because I was like, if, you know, like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But we ended up not actually getting on a plane. We actually ended up driving. So we rented a car here in Alabama, and we drove to Atlanta first. Well, actually, we was already in Atlanta. Mind you, I'm sorry. We fly out the Atlanta airport. So we was in Atlanta. We rented a car in Atlanta, and we drove from Atlanta to Michigan, which I think is a little bit more than a 12-hour drive. Or maybe shorter. It's just a different direction. So I've never drove from Atlanta to Michigan. I've drove from Alabama to Michigan. But yeah, so fast forward to current day. Current day. Here's the leg, guys. Yeah, so I had ORF surgery, I don't know what it's called, ORIF surgery, yeah, on my tib and fib. I have a rod in my leg now, and I'm currently in physical therapy, learning how to walk again. So I'm kind of bringing y'all along on this new journey with me. It's definitely been an eye-opening experience, and life has just changed a little bit, and honestly it's for the good. And I know that a lot of people don't say like, oh, like this was something that traumatic happened to me, and I am like dealing with new struggles that I didn't think about, you know, before having both feet and walking fine. So it's definitely an experience, but I really just want to take you guys on a journey with me and let you guys get to know me a little bit more and, you know, what I'm about. So yeah, that's really it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my getting ready process. This was supposed to kind of be, you know, like a story time, get ready with me. So I guess I could finish get ready with you. Well, get ready with, you know what I'm trying to say. I could finish getting ready and then, you know, just in there. So I guess I'll do that because I'm getting ready for the day anyway. So like, who doesn't like an extra spiel? But yeah, that was the story of me breaking my leg. And y'all, everybody keeps saying like, oh, that ain't gonna get you to climbing a tree again, like you done with the trees. And it's like, no offense, no, I don't think I'm done with the trees. Cause like, okay, yes, I broke my leg. Yes, it wasn't the brightest decision. Yes, I'm paying for it, and you know, but like also, why stop living my life? Like, why stop living my life because something happened? If you do that, what's the point of life? Like, what's the point of not doing stuff? Like, if I'm gonna be scared every time I do stuff, then what's the point of doing it? So that's how I look at things. So who knows? I might climb a building for all I know. Well, actually, I've already done that. If y'all want story time on that, let me know of how I climbed. Actually, I don't know if I can actually tell that story, so never mind. But let me know if you guys want any more story times, anything else that you guys want to hear from me. I can do a Q&A. I just feel like I'm not that interesting to do a Q&A about, so that's why I haven't. But if y'all want one, yeah, this is gonna be pretty much it for me for the day. So I just mascara and just some light eyebrows, so y'all can kind of tell. And then that is it for me for today. I hope y'all like this video. Thank you. Please Please stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Comment down below if you made it this far. Give me the heart. Give me a green heart, please. Yeah, but thank y'all. See y'all later.